Again, since you are, how old are you again?
I'm 14, turning 15 in a month.
Okay, so you're a teenager. So when you hear the words domestic violence, what comes to your mind?
Domestic violence, I think of abuse inside a household or family or like a group or something.
Do you think or believe that as teenagers you can be involved in an abusive situation, like outside your house, not just family? Like if you had like a boyfriend, what would you say you'll be doing for you to say, oh, he's abusive?
Well, either, physically harming and also verbally too. Anything that just hurts you mentally or physically, anything that could leave a scar, I would account as abuse.
So would you know what to do if you were involved in an abusive relationship?
A relationship?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I have people who could help me. I could tell somebody, I could contact people in my life to help. I definitely wouldn't stay, but I would know what to do.
Have you ever heard of a hotline for like abused people? That there are hotlines, like you can just Google and say abuse hotline or domestic violence hotline, and you can call that number, and there'll be people there to advise you on what to do. They'll ask you questions and walk you through what you can do. Because sometimes, I don't know if you've heard that some women and men get killed by their partners because of domestic violence. Because the most difficult or dangerous, should I say, time is when a victim decides to leave their abusive partner. Mm-hmm. So that's why you have to be very safe when you decide to even call. You wouldn't call a hotline when the person who's abusing you is sitting next to you, would you?
No.
That won't be safe, right? Okay. So somebody mentioned that nowadays, teenagers, young girls and boys, they think that if their partner or boyfriend is telling them what to wear or what to do, don't talk to this person, don't hang out with them, it's a cool thing to do. What do you think of that?
Well, yeah, as a partner, you really don't have like a say in what that person does in their personal life. You're not a parent, and if you're telling them what to do, what to wear, who to hang out with, it's just not your place to say. I wouldn't say it's abuse, but if it gets to the point where it gets physical or she's manipulative, then that can be abuse.
Wouldn't you think that's controlling behavior? Because that's a form of abuse.
Yeah, it is. It is very controlling and manipulative.
Yeah, that's a form of abuse. So yeah, controlling, manipulative behavior, it's abusive behavior. So this is why I want to talk about domestic violence, especially to you young girls, so
Mm-hmm.
So that by the time I'm hoping you don't have boyfriends. By the time you get to have a boyfriend, at least you'll be aware. There's different forms of abuse. Emotionally, physically, spiritually, financially, or they'll take your money. Let's say you start working, right? Mm-hmm. And you have a boyfriend and they're taking all your money. That's abuse right there. So just because they're not putting their hands on you doesn't necessarily mean that they're not being abusive. Anyway, thank you for your contribution. And I'll go on to the next teenager right here. Thanks. Okay, so Chardonnay, obviously I know your age, your name, so I'm not going to ask you that. My question to you is, when you hear two words, domestic violence or abuse, what comes to your mind?
Basically, if you're in a relationship and your significant other is abusing you, whether it's mentally or physically, yeah.
Yeah, but what's abuse? Some people don't know. What is abuse?
Anything that, to me, like, you can't say that someone doing something once is abuse. To me, basically anything that a bully would do.
So an abuser and a bully is same banana.
No. Maybe.
Which one is worse?
Oh, God.
An abuser and a bully. Like a bully at school, or someone, like let's say your neighbor.
Well, I mean, abusing is usually used, you know, in the context of someone that you have a relationship with, right?
Mhm.
You don't necessarily have to have a relationship
With a bully.
with a bully. So I guess that would differentiate the two.
So
In my eyes.
would you know what to do if you were in an abusive relationship? Or if you ever been in an abusive relationship, what would you do to get help?
It depends on what kind of relationship it is. If it's somewhere where I'm, you know, with, you know, depending on, you know, the relationship. Because if it's a relationship where it's, you know, your parents or a sister, you know, or a brother, it's different from if it's, you know, a boyfriend or a girlfriend.
Let's talk about boyfriend and girlfriend.
I mean, I've never been in one, so I can't, you know.
But I said, whenever you have a boyfriend, now that, you know, we're talking about it, do you have like at least an idea of if this happens, that's abuse, and this is what I'm gonna do?
That's what I was getting to. I would say, you know, in my mind, I'm like, oh, I would just leave, but when I'm in it, you know, I mean, I would just leave, but I know it's never that easy, but I would just leave. But I don't know, because I've never been in one, so maybe I wouldn't.
I thought you were gonna say I'll tell my mom at least.
I don't
You wouldn't
know.
tell me?
I would just leave.
You wouldn't tell anybody?
No, because
You just leave?
Yes. Because like it doesn't matter, because like I would just leave. You know what I mean?
No, I don't.
like I would just, okay. It wouldn't matter to me. Okay, all jokes aside, it wouldn't matter to me to tell anyone because I would just leave.
So you will definitely leave.
Do you know what I mean?
What if he says,
like, why would I need to? I mean, unless he's like, I'm gonna come, you know, to your house and shoot you in the head. Like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna call the cops, you know. But like, if they're like, they hit me once or something,
you just leave?
then I'm gonna leave. I don't like. I feel like people who talk to people about it are people who are conflicted, you know. And there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm just saying that they need help with it, obviously. Like, that's why you talk to people for advice and help. But like, I would just leave.
Well, you won't need help to leave.
No.
And you won't even tell your mother.
No, because like,
that, oh,
bye.
you picked me up. So because I'll ask you like, oh, so why did you leave? What are you gonna say?
Yeah, I mean,
Nothing?
I would tell you, but it's not like I would be like, oh my gosh, like,
Let me
he
tell my
hit
mom.
me, like, I need help. Like, I'm just gonna leave. Like, unless I want to press charges or something. I don't know. I'm sorry.
Would you tell your mom?
Of course, yeah.
I don't know. I would just leave.
So this kid of mine is not gonna tell me.
Do you want to
leave.
redo this? I'm gonna like, you know, like a threat. Unless they threaten me, if I leave or when I leave, they're gonna do something. Then I'm definitely gonna get you involved, the police involved. But if it's just like,
I'm